Hey everyone. All right, we're getting a late start today, but a lot has been going on. But should be okay. Now, let me where's my glasses? Cleaner. I swear I need like 100 of these things. I lose them all the time. So how is everyone doing today? Can you guys hear me? You hear me very well. Oh, look who we have here. Hey, Preachy. Hey. Yeah, dude, I had to like switch all the like major chords and put them in the bigger uh what is it called? The power strip. So yeah, guys, I'm a little bit late cuz I have this light in here now. And it's not the one that's on. I can't plug up my new light because as soon as I turn it on, it'll like shut everything down. So I'm going to have to I don't know, play with that after. I didn't know it was going to pull that much electricity, but I kind of got it started already. Okay, so I don't have one topic today. We're gonna go over a few things that's just been going on all together. So I hope my thumbnail and the title did not confuse you guys. Let's see. Who do we all have in the building? We got added again. Miss Shay, how are you? Zeke, hello. Christina, hey, Ja. Miranda, 420. Hey, you didn't hit us when you got home, but I'm happy you're there safely. Hello, Mr. Next. Yeah. Miss Red, how are you? Okay, so the first thing I wanted to just get on and get through it. I don't know if you guys have heard of a guy named Lee Smith III. If you've heard of him, toss me a thumbs up in the chat. Because this man is just, I honestly feel like he deserves more than the time he's got. So I'm going to play. First, I'm going to read. Bear with me and my voice. Okay. I'm going to read just who this guy is. He was a nanny. This is in Houston, guys. This is in Houston. Lee Smith III. Okay. It says, a man who worked as a nanny sentenced to 30 years for child molestation. Okay, December 1st, 2021. A Houston man who worked as a nanny for a single mother with 2 boys was sentenced to prison for 30 years for molesting the children. Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg announced Wednesday. Wait, do I have it up there for you guys to read as well? I don't. So let me share this really quickly with you as I'm reading. Share. I know, Preach, you're probably overhearing all these different stories from earlier today. But I'm like, hey, let's talk about them all.
No, I didn't look into it.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're nuts.
So
okay, let me bring it up.
I'm right on pace with the chat.
Okay.
I'm learning just like them.
So, Preach, how would I make the screen that you guys see up there? How can I make the letters bigger? Is there something I can press?
Scroll up.
Scroll up.
Scroll up the page.
I did.
That's a website, right? Scroll all the way up.
I am all the way up.
Can you see the address bar? Can you see the address bar?
I see the address bar.
All right, on the top right, you'll see 3 dots. Click them.
I don't see 3 dots.
Oh, okay.
Like there's nothing I could press, like something in the plus sign, and it makes it bigger.
That's what I'm saying. That it will be where the 3 dots are, where your browser bar is.
It says update.
No, well, you
right
could but you
view.
don't want to update it. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Yes, thanks, Preach. Okay, so can you guys see that a little bit better?
Yeah,
all right, so it says, Okay. A Houston man who worked as a nanny for a single mother with 2 boys was sentenced to 30 years in prison for molesting the children. Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg announced Wednesday. The law against the continuous SA of children in Texas ensures this predator will spend every single day of his 30-year sentence in prison, Ogg said. He will never be eligible for parole. I think that's a good thing because we're not doing up to 30 years and he can get out in 10 with good behavior, because this was an ongoing thing. And just to think that we trust people with our children, you never really know what's going on behind closed doors. Okay, so it goes on to say Lee Smith III, 32 years old, pled guilty to 1 count of SA of a child Tuesday and agreed to the sentence. Smith, who at the time used an alias named Justin, spent more than a year SAing the 2 boys in his care. Both were around 9 years old at the time. After he stopped working as their nanny, the boys told their mother what had happened to them, and then eventually went to the authorities. Smith was charged in 2019. Okay, we're in 2021, and this is now catching up with him. That's something that I wish the criminal system, the justice system, should fix. I don't think in situations where there is so much, background to what's going on with these kids, that he gets to spend more than a year without being fully sentenced. And there's all this evidence. Now the victims don't have to testify or go through any trial, and he will be in his 60s by the time he gets out, said Assistant District Attorney Laura Hodge of the Sex Crime Division. The case was investigated by Houston police. Okay, so I am now going to show you. Hey, Fun to Be, how are you? Fun to Be Blonde in the building. We got Ja. Yes. Yeah, come on in, guys. So I'm going to show you the first news clip I want you to see. And we're going to go through these things because it's about 5 or 6 things we're going to be talking about. And then I will open up the panel so we can, talk like we always do. So the next one I would like you guys to look at is this right here. Let's bring it up. Make sure you guys let me know if you guys can hear it when I start all these little things. Okay, let me make sure. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that first to see if you guys can hear it.
Financially, we knocked on the door of the assault.
Hold up, I want them to play it from the beginning. Give me a second. Is it already brought up over there? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's take it all the way back, ma'am. So preach, if you can't hear it, let me know, okay? And let me know what the chat is saying so they can hear it, okay?
All right, no problem.
Are quite disturbing. Lee Smith III, as you said, is technically considered a fugitive. He's known to frequent the North Houston area, and according to charging documents,
there's an echo.
Two minors in 2017.
Let me grab my headphones. Give me a quick second. All right. I don't know how I could fix this and still be able to hear without headphones. We'll figure it out later. Okay. So can you hear me? Or maybe I'm on mute. Let me see now. Okay, I'm not on mute. So we'll give that a second try. Bear with me, guys.
Are quite disturbing. Lee Smith III, as you said, is technically considered a fugitive. He's known to frequent the North Houston area and, according to charging documents, sexually assaulted 2 minors in 2017. Those children, who were ages 15 and 6 at the time, were Smith's neighbors. Their family was living with him in his apartment during the alleged encounters, while the mom reportedly tried to get back on her feet financially. We knocked on the door where the assaults are said to have taken place, but no answer. At one point, the victims lived here at In-Town Suites off Kirkendall, but haven't been seen in a while. Neighbor Alicia remembers seeing them play outside and has even seen Smith a time or two in the neighborhood.
Just normal. I just see him at the store. He just normal. He just buys the stuff. You wouldn't even never know he's a predator.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to his whereabouts and or an arrest. They're also working with a special victims unit at HPD. Anybody who's seen him or knows anything about him is asked to speak up. Also, he may go by the alias Justin Lee Smith, and as we've been saying, has been known to wear scrubs and possibly pose as a pediatrician.
Disgusting, right? You're trying to pose as not just a doctor, but a pediatrician. I find that disgusting. Just disgusting. You're going through that many hoops to put yourself around children, around kids. You're walking around with scrubs and SAing younger children. And I wonder why the 15 and 13-year-old waited till he was not any longer their nanny. I'm like, what were you telling those kids? So that way they would be so uncomfortable with coming to their mom and saying, hey, mom, this is what Justin, he was going about by. Justin has been doing to me. Let me just go ahead and bring up his little picture. Look at this man. I mean, just disgusting. Let me see. Let me type his name in here. So his name is
Oh, I
Lee
didn't know I
Smith.
was muted. You were breaking up a little bit just now.
Okay. Was the video okay? Let me see what internet
It's like it's making you sound like a robot.
okay, let me fix that. I need to put it on my other internet device. Give me a quick second. Let me change the Wi-Fi. I'll bring this up real quick and I'm gonna go check my extender. Okay, so let's have a look at this man. I'll leave him on the screen while I go check my extender because I believe it's running on a
It
different.
sounded pretty good now.
It sounds good?
Sounded pretty good now.
Okay.
Sounds good now. I don't know what the hell was going on just now, but it was like making you sound like a robot. But you good now.
Okay. As long as I'm still good, because I was gonna check my extender. If on the next video I show, let me know. So
All right.
here is Mr. Disgusting. This is Mr. Disgusting right here. Him. So I see at it again says, first off, why hire a man to be a nanny? I'm not saying that women are better, but men have zero tolerance. I don't know what do you mean by zero tolerance? At it again. I kind of get what you're saying. Like normally you hear of there being women as educators or daycares or nannies. And I don't want to be sexist, but I just want to know what
made the mom feel like he was a great fit? Was it because he walked around in scrubs and she figured, hey, he's a pediatrician. What could he do wrong? If anything, he could probably help out in a situation if they are sick or anything like that. Or, maybe that's probably what led her to be comfortable, but I just don't get it. At it again
I
says,
mean,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
She says, I just had a convo about people who were molested and how untreated psychological issues are not addressed. Now they become a menace to society. Yes, I do believe, because I have a friend. I believe I told you guys about this friend, but if I haven't, I have this friend and I've known him for years. And he told me that when he was younger, a member in his family had done that to him. And not just fondle, but full on, you know, intercourse with this boy. And I'm like, how do you remember that? Because he said it was when we were in like preschool, because we went to preschool together all the way, up. Wait, was he in my preschool? Probably kindergarten. And he said that he didn't know if he was gay. And this is as we got older, that we're in high school now. And he's saying that, he tried to have relationships with girls, but he just didn't feel right. And I never known him to be with a girl, I believe. I don't know if he was just telling me that to say, hey, I tried it and it didn't work out. But now he is full on. And I asked him, what made you? And he said he feels like that time in his life, from that situation, it's always been in his head. And he thinks that's what made him that way. And I'm like, I go to the question, are people born like that? Or is it something that is seen and taught to them? I don't have anything against the LGBTQ community at all. The school I went to, I mean, it catered to the LGBTQ plus community. So it's not that. I just
Right.
wonder, is it genetic? Is it, or is it just a learned
Yeah.
behavior? I don't
I don't
know.
think it's. I don't think it's. I don't think it's genetic. I don't
Yeah,
think it's
I don't think
genetic.
it is either.
I think it's. I think it's like. How can I put it? Um. Because there are studies that are coming out now that
Uh
are
huh.
like claiming that people can be born with a certain like estrogen level, but they're a man, and I
Mm,
don't know the science behind it, but from what I know, growing up in impoverished communities, these things happen a lot because there's a lot of mental illness
right.
within impoverished communities, and there are a
Hmm.
lot of people who have been hurt as children, and without proper treatment, you turn around and you hurt other people the same way.
They say that. I don't know.
You victimize
Like,
small children. If you were victimized, then you know.
right.
So I'm just thinking. I'm thinking it's just a domino effect. I'm thinking he might have been victimized as a child,
Hmm.
and maybe as he got older, because he seems like a kind of big guy. So
Hmm.
who's to say he wasn't in a situation where he overpowered another dude or whatever? And you know how men are scared to admit if another man like overpowered them and like took advantage of them.
Right.
Men can be scared to admit that. So it's far less likely that a man will go get a rape kit done. You see what I'm
True.
saying? So it's possible he might have tried somebody one or two times just because the simple fact he could
Hmm.
overpower them. And who can you overpower more than anyone but a child? So I think that's why the predators kind of start messing with the kids because they're the most vulnerable people
Right.
possible. And as far as the motivation behind it, um, that it says added again says priests there are people born with androgynous traits. Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So there are people that could be born with certain traits. I don't know. I'm just saying from my experience, what China said is usually the case. They've been hurt or victimized as they were young, or their manhood has been, they feel like their manhood might have been taken from them. And because of the stigma in mostly the black community or male community in general, is if you've had any type of homosexual experience, then you are a homosexual. And
Right.
what that tells to people who have been victimized is that even if you were victimized at an age where there's no way you could have consented, just because you and a man did something sexual, now you're a homosexual. I think a lot of dudes choosing that lifestyle comes from that, because it's like they would have to live with the fact of saying, yeah, I feel straight, but this happened to me when I was younger, because so many people don't give a shit how young you were as a man. They're just going to be like,
Right.
oh, it happened with a guy, you're gay. So
Right.
I think it's a combination of all that shit. It's it's fucked up.
It is. It is. And him being 32 and doing this to these young children, it's like what else can they do but let it happen? But I feel like since they were older, and this is just how I feel, at least one of them, I feel should have told the mom. They said this was happening for over a year. And then what signs wasn't the mom paying attention to where she didn't even notice this was happening right underneath her nose? I don't know. Shay says a
I
man
mean, if
being
she
a
needed a
nanny is
nanny,
very odd
she
to
might have been
me.
super busy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I think
I'm just saying, if she needed a
him.
nanny,
Are you hearing me after in a delay?
no, I think we're yes, a delay. It's a delay. The internet's breaking up a little bit again. Yeah.
So give me a second. Let me check this. Let me go ahead and just check the Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, comma, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comma, comments, comma, news reporting, comma, scholarship and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. You know what, Shay? I don't have children, but I have nieces and nephews, and 9 times out of 10, I would be more comfortable with a woman being a nanny than a man. That's just, I think that's just a natural thing to just feel as though women would be better stewards of children because they're more nurturing, more caring, more sensitive, you know, um, and stuff like that. So yeah, um,
I can't even
I just
find
think
what
that's
it
something
is
that won't change for a while.
about women. The difference between women and men. Yeah, I don't know where my. I think my
Yeah,
mom
nannies.
moved it, but I'll find it later. We'll just deal with it as it comes. So I'm gonna get some more of the comments really quick, and then we're gonna play the the next clip. Okay. At it again says, not directed at you. 420. There are some who are better than women. However, when I recruit for a job, oh yeah, recruit for a job, most states that lack patience, and there's over 200 interviews. I don't know why I just had a problem reading that. So I guess her and 420 are having a conversation that I don't know about, and I'm just being nosy. Oh hey boo, how have you been? Haven't seen you in a while. At it again says, my nephew is a flight attendant and my brother is a nurse. Interesting. But you know what? I have been seeing a lot of guys now being flight attendants. And my cousin is a nurse. Him and his girlfriend or wife, I would say, are both nurses. And I mean, I wouldn't think he would do anything, but I wonder if this guy had any pediatric education at all. I mean, if he really went out and bought these scrubs and was just acting like he was a pediatrician, that's a bit much. Yeah, he needs to be in jail. They gave him the 30 years, but I'm like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe at 60 he could be rehabilitated, but I don't know. He looks like R. Kelly. No, not R. Kelly. Are any of them? I don't know. They haven't given out any information about the children. It may come out later, but as for now, 420, I really don't know. No disrespect. Yeah, no, it's just a question. We understand. Jostar, trauma. Yes, most definitely. Um, I know two brothers. One was molested, the other one was not, and the one that was is not gay. So wait, is the one that was not, is he? That would be pretty interesting because I feel like it really isn't, you know, the reason why. It could be in some cases, but sometimes people, they love who they love, and that's just that. Let's see. Oh yeah, you commented on that. Um, born a male but have female tendencies is, and vice versa. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know who the she's on TV, the young girl Jazz, and her mother said from little that she knew that Jazz was going to be a little girl. And Jazz growing up, she had her parents finally let her get this downstairs surgery. They started her on estrogen really young. Um, and she's happy. And then I see stories to where they let these parents do these things to their children very young. And then when they get older, they want to go backwards. And so I'm like in a place where I don't know if, parents should be doing that because in one of the situations, um, the the young lady said that she wished her mom hadn't have done that because now that she wants to go back to being, you know, what she was born as, she can't now. And then I see the girls that, do the testosterone and everything, growing facial hair, the works. And then they want to go back, but now they can't because they're constantly growing the facial hair. They have the deepest voice ever. And so it's like, what do we choose? Do we wait for children to get 18 and make their own decisions? Or allow the parent to okay certain things? Because I don't feel at that age you really know who you are. And so you may go back and forth, but when you make permanent changes, I mean, that's with you for life. You can't really flip flop in and out of that. So I don't know. I think it needs a lot more studying. Miranda says, could be a coincidence. He may have been gay regardless. I know a couple of men who were violated as children and are not. See? See, but that's not in every case. Yes. Um, she let money be the priority over her children's well-being. At the end of the day, that's what it chops up to be. I wonder how much she did not know and where this guy came from. So let's see. Oh, preach dropped off. I'm gonna keep looking at these comments, but I'm gonna bring up this news clip really quickly, and let's get to it. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Okay.
For a CBS 11 News update, I'm Doug Dunbar. Nearly 180 million people across the country open their wallets.
They done went backwards on me. Hold on, guys. I do not like when they do that. I'll click something, have it ready to go, and then boom, it's something else. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me find it again for you guys. Where is it? I believe it's this one. Is it this one? No, I don't think it's this one. I cannot stand when they do that to me. It's like I'm all ready to go, and now it's not right. Ay, ay, ay. And it's always because of the commercial. I try to get it ready for you guys so we don't have to watch a commercial, and then that happens. Okay. Let me hear it first because it still looks like they're playing around. Let's see. Let's try again, y'all. Let's see. 11. Share. Take this one off. Why is it doing this? This is not it. You know what? Let me type it in again. That's going to be the next story. So, the third. Oh. Houston. I promise you, like, Houston, you can always find something going on. I mean, it pops up on my phone all day. Houston, I need you guys to get it together. Why isn't it coming out? Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. I don't know why you're doing this to me. Okay, this might be it. Yes, I think this is it. I think Preach popped in the building. There he goes. Yes, yes. Hold on, Preach. I let it go, and it you know how I try to have it paused on the part so that we don't have to watch the commercial. I did that, and it started playing something else. I'm like, that's not what I clicked on. Why are y'all doing this to me? And it's still bringing up this weird video I didn't click on. Uh-oh. Let's see, is this the one I just showed you guys? If it is, we'll get past this one, and I need to bring up something else. Okay, so it's on mute. It's going through the commercial. Let's see if it's going to give me the same one, or we're going to go on to the next thing I wanted to discuss with you guys. And I also let me see if I dropped the link in the chat. Yeah, they're playing the exact same one, and the other one is just reading. So let me, did I drop the link? Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't press enter. So yeah, you guys can pop up. There it goes. It's in the chats. Before I go to the next one, I do want to address your guys' comments, or you can pop up on panel, open panel. Anybody can come up. Let's see. Josh Star. Espérate, papi. Okay, I'll answer the door. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna go answer the door really quickly, guys, and we're gonna get to Josh Star's comment.
Let's see. Some men become abusive women after they have been SA and because they didn't feel protected by their mother. Yeah. And sometimes a lot of guys just have mommy issues, just straight up mommy issues. You know, it might not even be that the mom let him get hurt. You know, it's just mommy issues in general. You know, that person that's supposed to be nurturing and protect you from certain things did the opposite. That could build a lot of internal anger. You know what I mean? And you know, motherfuckers lash out. Nobody wants to seek help. Everybody's too tough to seek help. And the funny thing about how life works is, if you want to be too tough to seek help, like it's a place for all the super tough people. It's called prison. So either you tighten up as a civilian, or eventually you go meet the real tough guys. Yeah.
Okay, we have Miss at it again in the building.
Hello.
Hello.
How
Hello.
Hello. How
y'all
are you?
doing?
Fine, fine.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
that was Amazon. They come out every hour now because of the holidays. I guess they're
And
24
they knock
hours.
on your door?
They knock and leave the package there.
Oh, okay.
Cause over here, you will not get your package. I literally had someone, as I'm sitting in the living room, walk up to my door, and thank God it wasn't a package. I had just put a box out there because I was doing some decorations for my son's birthday party one year, and she went and grabbed it and picked it up and said, I was like, excuse me. She's like, oh, you sitting right there, and you just got this package at the door. It could have been mine. I was like, what? And my son's a baby at this time. And she was like, yeah, that's what we do around here. You don't leave your package at the door. I was just like, wow, okay, lady, goodbye.
Bye
So
bye.
now, yeah, they take pictures and send it to you and then Alexa will let you know. But I have her on silent right now because she's been acting up.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, this is Josh Star's comment. Some men become abusive to women after they have been essayed, in my opinion, because they didn't feel protected by their mom. Ah.
Exactly. I told someone that today. I said
Mhm.
some of these guys have money issues, and
Mhm.
the things that their mom didn't protect them from or didn't do, they grow up with that and they have resentment toward women.
Mhm.
But in this guy's case, it was boys.
Mhm. It's really really sad that these children have to go through this. I do not know what is wrong with people to look at a child and that that even come across your mind. Their little innocent bodies, like I just can't. I really don't get it. Do you feel like 30 years is enough?
For
At it
that,
again?
I
Yeah,
don't
for that.
know if he's gonna last 30 years. Cause that's one of the thing in the prison system. Don't mess
Yeah.
with kids. Don't mess with kids.
I just, and then as a mom, I would wonder like, how does she feel? Because I really want to know, did she see signs and ignored it? Because if she's seen signs and ignored it, I know she feels crappy right now.
Well,
You
I
know?
know one of the things that I did, and they
Hmm.
called me crazy. I told all the men folks in my family. I
Uh,
said, if my daughter ever come to me telling me that you did something to her, I didn't
uh,
think about my son. I'm sorry, I didn't think about him. But I said my daughter, and they looked
mhm.
at us like they looked at me like I'm their dad.
Right,
So I'm their uncle. So I'm
right,
saying if she comes to me incorrect about anything, it's going
right.
down.
Oh yes, and I don't like when parents act like, oh no, he wouldn't do that, or that's one thing that I was able to go to my mom and say, hey, I don't like the way this family member is pushing up on me.
Right,
And my grandmother had got upset with me and was like, because in our family, when you come in, you say hi, you give him a hug, and then you kiss him on the cheek, like cheek to cheek type thing, like, you say hello, and that's to everybody, especially the elders. We have to say
right.
hello to them. And her brother, he's no longer alive, so I could say this, um, would like say little stuff to me all the time. And I'm like, you're supposed to be my uncle. And he
Mhm.
used to tell me that, he made me. If it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't be, where I'm at today. And, when you go to give him a kiss, he want to kind of grab you up. And I'm like, no. So there was one time we were having like our Sunday dinner and I completely skipped him. I said hello, but I didn't like do the hug with the kiss, and he kind of made a little fuss about it. My grandma started yelling, saying I was rude, whatever, whatever. But I had told my mom, and my mom like stepped in and was like, "Look, if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to." And it kind of like was a little friction there. But ever since then, I would never like go up to him and give him a hug and a kiss or whatever. I would just be like, "Nope, I'll say hello, but that's about it."
Right.
So, and then it's not only me that was saying it, was some of my other cousins when they were younger. He was doing things to them, so I was like, I'm good. Like, no.
It seems like it's always that one uncle or somebody or cousin that you got to stay away from.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Ugh, we got a few of those, and I just be like, yo, I don't know if that's what y'all did over there, but we are now all in the States, so let's get it together.
Well, we did have it. Most of our generational people have passed on, so right now
Hmm.
everybody is safe.
Right.
That's what I'm going to use the word safe. They safe.
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 They're safe now.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it was really sad that when he passed, um, no one in our family knew. I mean, they had to do like something where they can like check DNA, and they found one of his daughters, and she called one of our older relatives and was like, "Hey, my dad is," well, she didn't even call his name, but she said his name is over at this place, and whatever. I guess they ended up just cremating him,
Mm.
the hospital, because no one could find them, and his daughter was like, "I ain't going to get him." None of them want to deal with him because I believe that. Well, I know that stuff was happening to them as well. So, I mean, it's sad that he went out with no family around, but he made it that way.
Yeah.
Yes, hit that like. Yes, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. Promise you'll love it.
But looking
Okay.
at this gentleman, why would you hire him to watch your kids?
I don't know.
I
That's what
mean,
I.
looks are deceiving. You know what I
Mm,
mean? He could be the best nanny. He could be Mary Poppins.
yeah.
But seriously,
Yeah. No.
people don't do background checks or stuff or nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Uh,
Maybe
uh,
he didn't. Maybe he didn't have anything on his record. Like you know, uh, people that are pedophiles, especially ones that haven't been caught yet. They might have been doing a little stuff here and there. I always
mhm.
compare them to like serial killers, even though they're not murdering the kids, but that's the next step. Like, it progresses. Like the
right.
psychosis, it runs deep, and it comes from usually like anger, shame, um,
Add it again,
aggression.
real quick.
You
Add it
know,
again. It's your fan thing again. Your fan thing is making the noise. I know it probably has to do that to like cool it off, and then it goes off because I know sometimes it goes off. Go ahead, preach.
Wait,
Yep. See,
the problem
it went.
is I don't hear that. So,
I know it sucks that you
did that
can't hear
hurt?
it. Huh?
Okay, okay, it's
Yeah,
gone
no,
now.
no. Yeah, it's her. I
Or
think
did
it's her
she
fan,
mute
but it
herself?
goes off after a while. I think she muted herself.
Oh,
Go
okay,
ahead, preach.
yeah. And I don't know. I think it's like a progression of things. When you hurt like that and you're not doing nothing to deal with it in a healthy way, like it's like a snowball effect. Like what if
Yes.
he would have got away with like that and gained more confidence in his abilities to just like molest kids? Like it's a lot of story about serial killers where they start off small and then it gets bigger and bigger. They get more confident and then it gets worse and worse as it goes. So
Right.
I mean, like I said, it's a lot of mental health issues in the black community, and it's not talked about. It's not addressed because there's this negative stigma on everything that could be positive for us because we've been systematic racism has literally taught us to think in a way where we not only destroy ourselves but we can't get ourselves up out of the hole. Like everything that could help us, like positively, we speak down on it. Like being
Mm,
smart, you a nerd, you're lame. All right. Um, having a mental health issue, you're retarded, you're dumb, you're crazy. Um,
mm,
having issues with your sexuality, automatically a homosexual if you're a man. If you're black, automatically gay. You're a faggot. Blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah. Right? It's acceptable amongst women. It's a lot of black women that go lesbian and switch back and forth. And there's no negative stigma on that because men like lesbians. If we're gonna keep be honest, like men like that's the like it's a lot of negative stigmas that if those negative stigmas were not in place, I feel like a lot of mental health issues could be
Hi,
worked
Ja.
through within the community. But it's a lot of roadblocks that's put up. You know what I'm saying? That will stop us from doing that.
Hey, Ja. Quick question. You were down in the chat. Am I breaking up a lot?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna try to switch my internet over to another one because I can't find my extender right now. I
No,
don't know where it could
everything's
have went.
running really good.
Now,
Okay.
once I dropped down and came back, it got way better. So it might have been
Oh,
me connecting to
okay.
your StreamYard. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, could you let me know if it's glitchy in the chat, if it's bad? Hey, Ja, I see your comment.
Yes.
So, I mean, you popped
Yeah.
up. I'm like, what's up?
Okay. Well, yes. Hello at it again. Hello, Preach, and
What's up,
everyone in
Queen?
the chat. Peace and blessings. Okay. Yes. So I know that there's three sexes: a
Okay.
hermaphrodite,
Mhm.
male, and
Mhm.
female.
Mhm.
That's it.
Right. So, okay. When you say hermaphrodite, like, is there hermaphrodites that are born more male than female and vice versa, or it's
Yeah.
just? Oh,
Yes.
there is. So there's
Yes.
a.
And like I stated, I have a friend of mine. We didn't know for years. We just thought she was a tomboy. We treated her as a tomboy, and we just figured, yeah, she's probably just gonna grow up and be a lesbian, because she was real tomboyish, never dressed like a girl or anything like that. And she told us years later that she's a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
And that she was confused for a long time and ashamed and everything, but growing and becoming a woman, and she chose to be a lesbian because she felt more accepted in that lifestyle.
Okay.
So,
See. So do you believe that it's like genetics, you're born that way, or do you feel like Jenner, what's his name? Their dad?
um, oh yeah, the tennis player, Kyle,
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in that situation,
Okay,
he's
now
with this
Bruce.
woman years and then switch up. Do you believe he's always been like that? Or he sees how the girls is being treated, kind of was fascinated with it. Where do you think that came from?
Well, personally, I think it's a big facade on
Mhm.
his behalf because
Okay.
he still has his private parts,
Mhm.
and yet he's having sex with a woman. That's not a
Right.
lesbian relationship.
No, no, no. No.
That is a heterosexual relationship with a man who wears a wig
And a dress, yes.
and a dress, period.
Mhm.
I actually was listening to a talk show of some gentlemen that were speaking about the LGBTQ community and how they weren't happy with what is it, the T in the community. And I was like,
What do you mean?
whoa, I'm
Yeah.
listening to this because I'm like, this is interesting. You know, why is it? I thought that you guys all thought the same, you
Right.
know, and they don't all think the same.
Okay.
The gay men do not really care for transsexual women because of the fact that they are men are still have their privates but are having sex with men, straight men, but don't claim to be gay.
What?
Exactly. And I was like, then next thing you know, there were six of them up on the panel. So they had transgender, homosexual, queer. I didn't even know what queer was.
I don't really get too much
Had
about
bi.
what queer is.
Queer is like what they would have called Prince. someone you're not sure of their sexuality.
So he
Because if
wasn't
you just
sure?
look at Prince, because he's beautiful, you would know, so they would call him queer. Because that's what I got from listening to these gentlemen talk, because the one who considered himself queer looked like had, longer hair and, more feminine looking, but was not dressed in drag. I
Interesting.
mean, dressed as a transsexual. But then there was a transsexual woman who got on there and who was very aggressive and very just like, black women this trying to be. And I'm just like listening, going, wow, you really have some issues. No
Right.
woman is trying to compare themselves to a man in a dress with
At
his penis,
all.
with his penis. You are not, if you're transgender, you're supposed to cut off certain parts. You're not supposed
Whoa,
to,
that would be a big move.
right. But that's because it's a facade. They want to play both roles.
Right.
It's a facade. Home and take their dress off and be a man or be a woman. That's a facade. If you really about it, cut off that part and become it all the way. Peace and
That's real
that's
permanent.
all I'm saying. Make it
Yeah.
permanent. Make it a
Ah,
permanent decision.
right.
But they're not doing that. And then they're
With
tricking straight men.
men. I don't like that
And
part.
then they try to say that that we as women compare ourselves to them. How so? You came from a woman.
Right.
You know,
Mm.
you ticky ticky boom boom. I don't understand,
Right.
why are you so hard on, black women, or any woman at that matter when it comes to having children, and
Right.
providing for your child and loving your child. But in this atmosphere, boy, I tell you, I just had to get off it because I was like, wow, this
Right.
is too much. Because I mean, they don't want certain people in their group. And it's like, then why did you guys take up all the alphabets then?
No, John. No, she said, why did you take all of the
all,
English language?
I'm just saying why. I don't
Right.
understand. But yes, but again, let me bring it back. But as far as I was saying about the mother, the men becoming abusive and having self-hatred and hating their mother because they didn't feel protected, and Preach had hit it right on the head. As soon as you put it up, he explained it perfectly. And
Okay.
thank you very much, Preach, because you did a great job. And I don't think 30 years is long enough, personally.
Right.
30 years,
Right.
these young men will be in their 20s, in their late 20s, late 30s, in their early 30s, mid 30s. And this man to be in his 60s. Give me a break.
Right. That's something they have to live with forever.
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 For the
I
rest of
feel
their
like he
life.
has to live no death penalty. A lot of the cases, I'm not really a death penalty person because I feel like it's playing God in a sense. And even though they have taken someone's life or whatever happened for them to get life, I just don't feel like we should give them the easy way out a lot of times. But sometimes I'm like,
Exactly. But let me tell you what my way out is. Put
mhm,
them all on an island and let them fend for themselves. You
yeah,
build your own house. You get your own food. And whoever can't survive gets booted off the island.
oh, well, you better
There ain't
figure
nowhere
it
else for
out.
you to go. You just drown, get eaten, whatever.
Mm,
Exactly. Figure it out. But you're
right,
not going to be where the rest of humanity is located, where you can
right.
just walk around and act like you're picking flowers and you're picking children. No, it's not going to happen like that. Put
Yeah,
them on
no.
an island, sit them over there, and let it be out in the water.
I
And
mean,
try,
I think that'll be an awesome idea.
right, and we won't be paying taxes to house them.
Mm-mm.
No,
Nah, they're just
nothing.
gonna go. There's a place that they say it's like a little small island. I gotta look at where it is. It's somewhere on this map. It's between, I don't know. I gotta look at it again. And they say like no human life is ever been on that island at all. And
I
that's why
saw
some
that
of these little
talking about
islands,
exactly.
they need to go on one of them.
Yes, and it's not close to another island. And I
Yeah.
mean, I want them to put them in those big old shipping carts. No windows to see the ocean where you going. No,
Mhm.
just put them in the shipping carts and ship them over. Open up the cart, let them out, and close it up, and be on their way for the next shipment.
Yep. I think it's
And
between a coastline in Canada, and there's a way that they want to be able to connect um, one country to the next, but they could go to this island and then keep going. Like that could be a mid spot, but they're saying wherever it is, it's like too isolated or something. There's a documentary I was following. I can't remember. I will
it's
probably
funny because
remember it later.
I was following a documentary just a few days ago
Mhm.
about islands, remote islands, and people have
Right.
never been to, and things of that nature. And I was like, that's a perfect place for them. If nobody's
Yes.
been there, put them there.
Just
You
go
know, see
ahead.
each other.
We don't
You
even touch there. You just literally go, let them parachute down, figure it out.
don't even parachute them. I said put them in a container and ship them on over there. You know, we're lucky
Yeah.
they're lucky we were shipping them over there with our tax money. All of
Right.
them swim, and if you make it, you make it.
Swim now.
You
Oh
have to.
no.
Okay, don't make me play. What is it? Squid Games.
I keep hearing about it. I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it. It's very entertaining.
Oh no.
Yes.
420s in the building. At it again. You say, when are we gonna have movie night? We could probably do it this weekend. Preach you down. Movie night this weekend.
I mean, we pretty much do it every night. Where has
I'm
she
saying
been?
no, wait, I'm saying with more people.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course, not a
Not
problem.
backyardigans, just everyone. Also I'm gonna
Yeah.
be doing game night. So bringing back game night, we will start that back up. Hey 420,
What up? What up?
Hey,
did you hear the
420.
topic
What
we
up?
were on? I'm now
Yeah.
going on to how do you feel about that? Because I'm gonna go on to the next one after.
What'd you say? My bad. I'm sorry.
How do you feel about, this man acting as though he's a pediatrician, walks around in scrubs. This lady acts as, hey, he babysitting her kids. I believe it's 13 and 15. And for that whole year, he was molesting them. I'm going to just use words. I'm not monetized. So he was molesting them.
Wow.
And
Right.
finally, when, he was not their nanny anymore, they finally told their mother. He got 30 years. This was in 2019.
I'm trying to figure out how the hell did he fake that for a year?
I don't know.
Pedoph-
I,
pedophiles, listen, they're very motivated, man. They're very
Yeah.
motivated. They like because it's like a dual mind. Like they're super embarrassed by what they like.
mm,
They're super embarrassed by what they like, but
mm,
they like it anyways. It's like a impulse thing. So they try their best to hide it, but
mm,
only so they can do it and get away with it because it only bothers them once someone finds out that they're doing it. But in the moment, they're enjoying every minute of it because they get that feeling to be powerful over someone because at a very young age, especially with men, someone took a lot of power from them. So they spend the rest of their lives trying to get that power back. And the
Right.
easiest way to get that power back or that feeling
I
of
agree.
getting that is pretty much taking advantage of someone smaller than you know.
right.
It's sad. But just the trickle down effect. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
So,
I mean, for the
yes.
most part, kind of reminds me of that movie. I remember that movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Never seen it.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me
I've
of
Yeah.
never
that,
seen it.
except
Yeah.
the
So
lady
what
was she
happened?
couldn't. That lady couldn't have kids, I believe. So she was trying to steal the other lady's kids, right? Or
Hmm.
something like that. Or get rid of the
Yes.
parents or something, the original parents or something like that. People are
Yeah.
crazy out here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
To
news
catch,
and
Most definitely.
that
shenanigans.
show, what's that show?
News is in the
To
building.
catch a predator. You guys
Yeah.
remember that show, To Catch a Predator?
Hey, News.
To Catch the
You
Predator?
sure
Yeah.
are.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't watch movies.
Yeah, like you said, that's a prime example, preach of men, not being ashamed or not being embarrassed to do what they're doing while they're doing it. But once they get caught, when
Right.
them cops roll up,
Yeah.
they start questioning them. Then they get to crying and saying they can't believe they do this and they have a problem and
Yeah,
they need
right.
help. And you knew that
Yeah.
before you came over.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. They
I'm,
just
yeah.
disgust me when they do these types of things to children. I
I
really
was
don't get it. That's why I'm doing, I want to do criminal psychology because I really want to know like what is in their minds when this is going on. Like,
I
and
mean,
I'm
do you
I'm
really
sure the
want to know?
child is. I want to know what makes people turn to that. Yeah, I do.
How
I
old
do
were the
That's why I
because
kids?
stay
it
away
makes
from.
no sense to me.
I
Huh?
don't want to
How
get
old
in
were
their
the
mind,
kids?
but I would like to know as well.
13 and 15.
So why aren't they saying anything and they're well over age to say something?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, what was he threatening them? What was happening? Because they didn't say anything until he was no longer their nanny. So
Yeah, that's weird.
you know, how you hear people say, "Oh, well, they say if you say something, then I'm gonna hurt you and your family," or
Yeah.
tell them something to get
Right.
them
Right.
scared.
I've already warned my son about that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have
About
to.
people saying that. Like if anyone were to, like, nobody touches your, private
Yeah.
but
Right.
Downstairs.
you, but
Right.
yourself. I said, and if anybody does and then says, if you say something, I'm gonna do something, like hurt your mom. I said, they're lying to you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Don't believe them.
Or
Don't
keep a
believe it.
secret. Keep a secret. I don't
Right.
like when people look. I don't care who it is. You and my child need no secret. I
Right.
Right.
don't care what y'all don't need no secrets between y'all.
Right.
If I
Exactly.
can't know, then he don't need to know. He don't even need to be involved in whatever it is. I don't care. I tell my son, you don't have secrets with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell mommy anything.
Yep.
And
That's
I'm
like,
happy that he actually listens from the situation I told you guys when the daycare lady was giving him and another little girl NyQuil.
that's crazy. I was
Yeah.
so angry.
So he was trying to keep that secret talking to Peppa Pig. And I politely turned my volume on my TV down and I listened. When he was done, I said, "Come here. What was you talking to Peppa about? A secret I can't tell you." Got all scared. I was like, turn the TV off. I was like, "Baby, we need to talk. You don't have no secrets with nobody else. Nobody but mommy. We can have a secret.
Right.
But anybody else, you don't have no secrets." So,
But listen, what happens when your kid gets a little older and they kind of worship? They worship. They look up to a older child that might be putting things into their head or like
But
influencing them. Like for instance, my son and my nephew. My nephew's 13. He's around my son, and he, like, I can tell my son something he doesn't believe me, but if my nephew tells him, he believes him. Like, he
mhm,
looks up to him. And one time I caught him. He was saying something, and he told Bryson, shh, like, shh, and I was standing right there. So I
mhm.
think that he's been telling him to keep secrets.
See, and is this the same cousin that you're talking about? You told
Yes.
your dad to watch. Hey, you
Yes.
better watch that boy.
But he is
You
my
better watch
brother's
that boy.
child. He's family. I can't just be like, no, you can't go around him at all.
Well,
So
I
it's kind
mean,
of a
only let him go around him when you're present.
right.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, you got to think about your child first, family or not. Family will do you way more wrong
Yeah.
than somebody down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I was
This
to
is true.
come to my brother with this issue, I don't know if he would take me seriously. He might be like, "Oh, they're just boys."
Nah,
Something like
you pull
that.
him aside privately and say, "I need to talk to you about something very
Yeah.
serious, and I need you to address it, handle it, or whatever you need to do, because this doesn't
Right.
need to continue or go any further, and we better catch it now before
Mhm.
we, end up having regrets.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or he shows
Yeah.
him things that he's not supposed to see at 8 years old.
Right. And you already
That
know that
Right.
he is from what you said. So
Mm-hmm.
nip it in the butt.
It's probably the
So
best.
yeah.
That's probably the best option. Like boys, like for the
He
most part,
loves him to
like
death, though. Like, he
for the
loves
most
him.
part, he might learn something that in his house his peoples might let slip through the cracks, and then that might inadvertently, you know, uh, attach to him too, just by proxy. Just by
So,
you know being this not as two birds with one stone, but
mhm.
like she said, how she talked to her son, she plants seeds in his head early. Like there's no secrets to be had. So even when
Right.
they do get older, they got that stuck in their mind. Like my parent told me, or my mom told me, you know, I could
Mhm.
be honest with her. I could be real with her. Because like the whole thing about grooming, it doesn't matter if that kid's 6 months older, even if they're just a little bit older. That's still old enough to make that kid feel like they're bigger than me. You know what I mean? But still, like they're my friend though. So
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's just about planting those seeds. And I understand what family is hard, and I think that's why a lot of times that whole uncle
Yeah.
situation, like with young girls in the family,
Mhm.
um, even if it's just a friend of the family, uncle type of guy that's not even blood, he can get in position, and that's even worse because he's not family, so he probably don't feel nothing about it. It's like she's 16, 17, she fine as hell, you know what I mean? Blah blah, whatever excuse he make up in his mind. I got her alone
Right.
in his back room, or I got her hemmed up in this corner. Weirdos is weirdos. Like they be like when they say predator, they really mean predator. Like they be really be trying to jam these little girls up in these and get them in a space. You know what I mean? Like
With
stalk
me.
them and get them in a quiet space where they're alone with them. Like it's really sick. So I feel like being overprotective about stuff like that is better than being underprotective. Like I'd rather look crazy about my kid and have
Mhm.
everybody be like, I'm not fucking with her because she did it. Or
Mhm.
as a dad, I'd rather be that crazy dad. That's like, oh, he crazy. I want you to. I want you to think I'm crazy because if you do something to my child, I'm gonna cut your head off. I'm gonna take it to the bar. I'm gonna put it on the bar, and I'm gonna talk to it. I'm gonna buy it a
Right.
drink. We're gonna have a nice little conversation until the police come and arrest my ass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'd rather you think I'm crazy than my kid have something happen to them, and
Mhm.
and they gotta live with that shit for the rest of their life, and then they're gonna blame me anyway. So if you're gonna blame
Right.
me anyway, I'd rather look crazy. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
I have a
if
daughter. She's only
yeah,
5,
that's what I'm saying.
but I don't trust family. Like my dad, I've
Yeah.
told him I don't want this person around alone, and he's like, they're not gonna do anything. They're family. Blah blah blah. My dad's just
Mhm.
kind of
Nah.
nonchalant. Like I don't care. I don't. I'm
Uh-uh.
not. That's where it starts. Most
Mhm.
of the time, that's where it happens. Is like within a family.
And you would
Uh,
think the person you feel like you could trust the most, it will be
yeah,
that one.
yeah. It
See?
happened to me with family. The guy that flicked his tongue at me. He was
Yeah. What was that
oh,
about?
yeah. So I was probably 13 at the time, and he's I don't even know how old he is. He's in his 40s now, late 40s.
Mhm.
So anyway, I come out of my room and he was like sitting in the living room, and he was sitting on a chair and he like flicked his tongue at me like up and down like in a that
Like
type
as
of
if like as if you were to like put a V in front of it, but without the V.
like yeah,
Yeah,
like
like that. He did
I don't
that.
want to do it, but yeah, like
Wait, wait,
that.
wait. This
And
is your uncle?
no, he's a cousin.
Okay, a cousin, a
But
older cousin.
he's much older. He's like the firstborn grandson. My grandma's like treats him like a baby and everything.
Okay.
So he's kind of like babied, in other words,
Mm.
by his mom, by his mother, so I told my dad, and he's like, "Oh, he was probably just sticking his tongue out at you, like."
See,
And
that's what I don't like. If you're coming
How
to
is that
say,
normal? How is
yeah,
that normal?
my
That's not
mom, when
normal.
I told her, she went crazy.
Right,
Like
because
she
she knew what
almost
that meant. He probably did it to her.
he did.
That's what I'm
He did
saying.
he did a lot of things I won't say on here, but he did a
Right.
lot of things with my parents. Okay, he set up. Tell me if this is weird. I'm gonna just go and say he set up a video camera in my parents' bedroom to where they didn't know
For what?
to record them doing things and watch it later.
Oh hell no.
A family member.
You know
This is
what?
blood related to my on my dad's side.
They
He
do it
So
like I
different
think
in
he
the
wait,
likes
South.
my
it was
mom.
your dad's brother, basically.
No,
Who?
my dad's nephew.
Okay, so your cousin. All right, yeah, but the older one.
He's
That's
older,
some
yeah.
He's
that's some
like your
sexual
dad's
deviant shit.
age,
Like
close to your
No, my
dad's age.
dad's 62 and he's late 40s.
So wait a minute.
He's
This
about
young boy,
46, 47, something like that.
to your dad was had a camera set up in your parents' room.
Yeah. That's when they were all like, I told you my parents were
Yeah,
going
yeah.
through and stuff.
You don't gotta
Okay,
say all
he
of it yet.
introduced this cousin is the one who introduced it to them, and they started doing it with him. So they would all like get together and do drugs together, and
Oh no, Addict
at some
fell.
point he put the camera in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and there was, I guess, I don't know. My mom and dad found it. They found it
Wow. And how they know it was him?
because they knew it was him. I guess he had a video camera.
Okay.
They had seen it before.
Right.
that's
He thought
different.
he had it hidden.
Right.
And then he
That's
had one
different.
Crazy.
in his room. He got paranoid. He was living at my grandmother's house, and he had one inside of a teddy bear. This was like recent, like a couple of years ago. And it was placed like
Yeah,
cut the
he
teddy
needs to
bear
not be
open.
around. That's a little
At all.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just needs to
He's
like he just needs
weird.
to
Like if you met him, he's like really nice, great personality. You would never think anything else of him. And I warned like Rory, my husband, when he first moved here, I was like, I'm going to tell you, you're going to meet him, you're going to love him,
Right.
you're going to think he's great, but he's bad.
He's a horrible
And
person.
yes, and later on, he found that out for himself, and he was like,
how,
"You're
how does
right."
Roy feel about him now?
Oh, he can't stand him. He can't stand him.
I figured
Oh
that.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They might
well,
have to listen. If I was in that position, bruh, so when I heard about some shit later on in life,
mhm,
we're just gonna say when I was in the military, one of the friends of the family died. We looked at him
mhm,
like an uncle, right? They found his
right,
body in the woods. It fucked me up, dog. Then I had a conversation with one of my peoples, a female, in my family, and she told me some shit, and I had to sit on it for a while. You know what I mean?
right,
I had to sit on it. Now, mind you, this man was not blood. He was just friend of the family, like real close. You know what I mean? Um, and when she told me that shit, let's just say I wasn't fucked up. I wasn't fucked up by him dying no more. And I kind of understood why they found that nigga, how they found that nigga. You see what I'm saying? So we all can fall prey to that charismatic shit. And like I was looking at a psychologist talk about predators, and it's like yeah,
mhm,
what do people always say after it happens? It was always someone close to the family, and it was always somebody super likable and charismatic
Yep.
because they are a predator. So a predator understands that they have to be the most unassuming person, so that
Mhm.
they would be the one that's alone with that child. If anyone would be, they would let that person be alone with that child, or unattended with that child. Or when that child would say something that that adult said to them in secret, and they tell somebody, everybody around is like, "Oh, it's no way,
right,
no way, that not them, right?"
right.
So they're not gonna look at the uncle like me. That if you give me permission, I'm gonna beat your kid. Cause they need to sit
Whoa,
their fucking ass down. Cause I want
whoa,
them to,
whoa.
I want them to,
Huh?
I want them to
We don't want
stay
to
in
beat the
line.
kids.
No,
No, don't
listen, no,
be.
listen to me. Listen,
I'm listening.
listen to me.
I,
Listen to me
I'm hearing
clearly.
you.
It's a certain way that adults deal with children.
Hmm.
You want them to do what the fuck they supposed to do so they can be prepared for the world, because the world ain't gonna give a shit about them.
Right.
Right.
No.
Most of the time, people that live in the house with them don't give a shit about them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So an adult that really wants a child to succeed and to have the tools that they need to be successful in the world ain't think about fucking that kid.
Right.
They think about telling that kid to sit their motherfucking ass down because they being too loud, making sure they fed, making sure they don't
Yeah.
drink too much shit before they go to bed so they don't piss on themselves. You see what I'm saying? Making sure they're respectful. No, they know how to clean up. See, that's how adults feel about like that. That's not trying to fuck it and want them to grow properly. That's what they worried about. That's what their mind is on. They not trying to look all unassuming and shit. You see what I'm saying? And all super nice, all the time. Like I'm not no super nice. What the fuck I'm being nice to a kid for? They can't pay no bills.
Right.
You
Jeez,
better
preach.
go.
I know,
No,
right?
I'm
I
just
know.
saying. I'm just
I'm
saying.
Jeez.
Like
serious. I
this
worry
is a
about my
trigger.
children
This is a
all the
trigger
time.
for me because I personally feel like you know. I personally feel like it's inhumane to treat someone who does that to a child in a seriously fucked up way. The only thing you can do is convict them and send them to prison. And we all know in the back of our mind what that's going to happen to them in prison. Like we know what's
Yeah.
going to happen every single day. They might give them like 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe a week for their butthole to heal up again. You
Preach.
know, but then they're gonna
Yeah.
be right back on him, or they're gonna put him in protective custody or some weird shit like that, because he can't survive in the public. They're gonna
Right.
do him dirty in prison. We know that in the back of our mind. But us as civilians, the most we could do is really just get mad about it and try to see the signs and stop it before it happens. Because like once it happens, you can't undo it.
Oh no.
It
You
causes
can't.
major psychological damage.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it really is a trigger for me, dog. I got a lot of nieces and nephews, bro. And when I hear shit like this, it's like, I feel like people should take the shit more serious. Like when people like Miranda say, or you say, or any woman says, which a lot of women say, and it always happens like this. I told someone, and then they gave me the cold shoulder. Like I'm not that guy. I'm breaking that chain. If a kid tell me an adult did something to him, I need to have a conversation with that adult. I'm not gonna sit there and shame that child for
Yeah.
telling me something in confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like what the fuck?
Right.
Like what kind of fucking culture? Like what is that? What is
Yeah. If
that?
you can't feel safe in your
You
own
see what I'm
home
saying?
too, because I was in my own home
Right.
when that happened, and my parents had
All
people
right,
who
y'all.
they shouldn't
All
have.
right. So we gonna get off this topic. I
Okay.
respect,
Yes. Go next.
the you know
I
the
got you.
family, and we're gonna just have we're gonna go on to the
Okay.
next thing. Okay.
Make it too
Love you,
long.
Christina. Yeah. Already been talking with that for a minute, and I got a couple of things I want to say. So now, have you guys heard about what happened at UNLV? Did you guys
No.
hear about how they were having like that? Um, the new thing is like YouTubers have like fight night and stuff like that. UNLV did a fight
Sounds
night.
good. Sounds good.
Okay. But this part doesn't sound good. Let's go ahead and watch it. Let me just bring it up. I never heard of a school encouraging a fight night like this. And here's why. Okay, now they want to be a little bit shisty with how they show it. So I'm gonna just allow them to be this way, and we're gonna watch it like this. But this young man, let's listen. Oh, before that, before YouTube goes crazy, let me put this up there. Fair use. All right. Okay.
This
Uh-oh.
not a
Let's go. Let's wait for this. And let me know if you guys can hear it. Shouldn't be an echo because I
Man,
still have on my
listen,
Oh,
I
is
my
that an
told
ad?
you,
headphones.
I was like, what are we looking at?
I told you to get ad
Description
block.
of this being like an underground fight club, but when you look at it, this was an organized event. It was publicized. It was something to raise funds for charity. I wonder what you have learned about what happened and what happened to your son.
Well, what I know is like when he first mentioned to me that he was going to be joining that fight night, I said, "What do you mean fight night?" He said, "Well, Mom, it's fight night." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Like box?" He said, "Yes." I said, "No, you have to back out." And he goes, "No, Mom, I can't back out. This is for charity, right?" And so I made sure, I kept asking him, "Are you going to be protected? Are you going to be wearing a headgear?" And he said, "Yes, of course. This is for charity." So he was saying, "Mom, you worry too much. This is just a charity event." So come to find out, he was going to be the main event. And I was like, "How did this happen?" But he was like telling me, he kept telling us that, no, this is for people who didn't have prior boxing experience, because he never was a boxer. He truly was just doing this because it was for charity.
And so what happened that night, Cynthia?
So that night, we got a call from his girlfriend. Actually, like Lacey called Nathan's dad, saying that fight was over, but they think that Nathan suffered a concussion because he had collapsed. So we rushed to the hospital, but like what we've heard was like he was laying on the floor waiting for paramedics for about 15 minutes because they didn't have paramedics on standby at the site.
And Michael, do you know if safety protocols were followed here?
I don't think so, because if there's safety protocol, my son will be in the house right now, and
Right.
he'll be 21. We'll celebrating his birthday,
Right.
having a good Thanksgiving and everything. So I don't think there's a safety in place. So
Can you tell us anything about what you've been told about who the referee was?
Well, I guess like in the past, they've always had professional referees, right? But what we've heard, like this time, like they just pulled some random guy from Kappa. Is that right? Kappa. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we believe. And we have videos showing that the referee was drinking as well as the judges
Okay.
during the event.
So you're saying this was a referee from a fraternity who was in charge of making the calls about obviously whether to go or stop in this. That's what you're saying. And Nick and Ryan, maybe you can speak to this. Is, as I understand it, and please correct me if I am wrong here, this was an event that was held many years here annually, practically. The weigh-in, is that right, was on campus at the school and publicized? What is the role of the school here? What is the accountability of the school?
Well, so you are correct. The weigh-in was held on campus. This was an event that was known to the university. It's been held many times in years past. So the school absolutely had notice of this, apparently had no care or concern for safety regulations and making sure that the referees were professional and there were paramedics on site. So there's a lot of moving pieces, of course, but it just appears that there were safety failures at every single step of this process. Again, you were correct. The weigh-in was held on campus, and that would have been a room reserved by the Kappa Sigma fraternity. So we're well on notice of this. Of course, the social media posts and everything else.
All right, I just want to be clear, the fraternity as well as the UNLV president, they put out statements, the president saying they're shocked and heartbroken that words cannot describe their feeling, meaning your feeling, Cynthia and Michael, and your family, of grief and emptiness. And the fraternity also greatly saddened, sending their condolences as well.
So, yes, guys.
So he died.
Yes. And this was supposed to be, like they said, an event for charity. they're putting it out, raising money for this fight. And this young man was the main event. I mean, there was a video I found of it, but it's so blurry.
Yeah, because there's probably a high quality HD video on one of those phones, but they probably got scrubbed because when someone dies, it's like I don't want to have this shit on my fucking phone. You know what I mean?
Right. So I've been trying to find one. We might just watch the blurry one, but I'm gonna play another clip on top of that, and then we will discuss it. Where is it at? Let's see. Have you guys ever heard of these events though?
I mean, colleges do a lot of shit, man. They have a lot of like events in public, and they have a lot of secret events. I mean, the reason why Facebook exists is because dudes was trying to find all the chicks in one spot and smash them easily. So I mean, that's the type of shit that college produces. You see what I'm saying? So
But did you hear them say that the referee and the judges were all drinking? That is going to be a big player in this situation because the referee could have easily ended the fight. So was someone's life worth a charity event? No. I mean, I don't understand it. Here's another one. Crazy.
Dead after a fraternity boxing match. His death ruled a homicide. His community mourning, and a family left with questions.
Why wasn't there a professional referee? I mean, these are amateur fighters.
Nathan Valencia died of blunt force head trauma, according to the Clark County coroner. His family alleging inadequate safety precautions and no professional ref on site at a November 19th charity event hosted off campus by University of Nevada, Las Vegas frat Kappa Sigma. Valencia died just 4 days before his 21st birthday. The university president saying the school will, quote, review the incident and determine how off-campus events like these can be as safe as possible. The family saying they welcome the investigation, demanding accountability.
In one of the fights, Filipino got knocked off.
Valencia's girlfriend was at fight night.
Throughout all of the fights, people from the crowd would have to say something to the ref to stop the fight because the fight was over.
How common is the death of someone who was engaging in a boxing fight?
Very rare.
Steele is a professional referee in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
The doctor, the ambulance, and the professional referee must be there present.
The Nevada Athletic Commission, which governs unarmed combat in the state, tells NBC it's launching an investigation. Fraternity Kappa Sigma did not immediately respond to our requests for comment. This as pressure to eliminate Greek life on campuses grows.
If we can't find a way to make these fraternity houses places that don't perpetuate interpersonal violence and sexual assault, then there's no reason to participate in these organizations.
Emenike was in a sorority at WashU in St. Louis, but joined Abolish Greek Life movements on campus. Her sorority voted to dissolve. Support online has grown for Abolish Greek Life movements, with schools like Swarthmore and Williams eliminating Greek life entirely. In D.C., Senator Sherrod Brown reintroducing the REACH Act earlier this year. The legislation in part would require hazing incidents to be reported as part of a college's annual crime report. The policy considered as debates over Greek life continue. The North American Interfraternity Conference representing frats around the country telling NBC in part moves to abolish Greek life, quote, fall short of truly dealing with campus-wide cultural challenges. In Valencia's death, no allegations of hazing have been presented. Today, the university and law enforcement investigate. Foster, in a sorority, says she's grateful for the support of the Greek life community and hopes for safer events in the future and justice for Valencia.
When people say some people are too good for this world, it's really him.
Clay is joining us now. And I know the family is bringing up some questions about, why there wasn't more safety, why there weren't more safety precautions in place, basically. Who do they say they want to be held accountable here?
Yeah, Holly, we actually got a statement from them just this evening, and they're alleging it needs to be the university, the fraternity, the event space, and the referee who need to be held accountable. And they say they're willing to cooperate with the investigation to make that happen.
Single Asamoah, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time. We really appreciate your original reporting for us tonight. Thanks.
Okay, so I found that video. Let's see if it'll play, because I found one earlier. I went back to it and it says video was deleted. So I don't know if they're going to pull the video off completely, But I'm gonna try to play this video for you. This one. And I am going to also drop the link. It is open panel, as you guys all know. There, let me drop that. Paste. Boom. All right. So, this is so sad, man.
Student died at a charity boxing match.
The Athletic Commission says they are taking this tragedy very, very seriously. Nathan Valencia's death has now been ruled homicide. But Clark County officials say that does not mean a crime has been committed. Now, Valencia participated in a charity boxing match hosted by his fraternity, Kappa Sigma. The event was called a fight night. Now, his loved ones say they didn't want him to take part in that, but he said it was for a good cause. His mother now saying his death could have been avoided.
What we've heard was like he was laying on the floor waiting for paramedics for about 15 minutes because they didn't have paramedics on standby at the site. We have videos showing that the referee was drinking as well as the judges during the event.
Valencia was, taken to Sunrise Hospital and died last Tuesday.
Yikes, man. Let me turn that off. So yeah, so they labeled it a homicide, but so far no one has been
Arrested?
is being held accountable. Yeah. So he died on the 23rd of November. He was 20 years old. His name is Nathan Valencia. They are asking if anybody has any information to contact their local police. But I mean, I believe they have everything there.
Yeah.
That was the one that was supposed to have the video, but I think they clipped the video completely
They're not
offline.
gonna. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, I
That
think
thing.
they're
If it's
gonna.
online, it's getting scrubbed. And I used to be the guy that could find shit like that, and I don't want to see shit like that. Like,
No, and I don't think they actually showed, but they said that they have video showing that they were drinking. The judges were drinking. And it's like the judges are drinking. There's no safety ambulances on site. I mean, it makes no sense. Ja, did you have something to say?
Yes, were the students drinking as well?
I don't know, but I'm assuming yes. Yeah. And you see how
Well,
small he is. Go ahead.
can I like just paint a picture? Now, from my limited knowledge of college, because I didn't go to college, I went to the military at 18 because I didn't have money like that. So even in the military, we were kind of like not in a fraternity, but the military is so small, it's like it's its own fraternity. You know what I mean? And we got hammered as much as possible. I'm talking about we would get drunk, stand on tables and fight and shit, and like just you know debauchery. You know what I mean? And this was a smaller environment because it was the military. Now I'm thinking about like a college campus, like those campuses. It's like a whole bunch of land, big facilities, a bunch of people and their young kids, hormones racing. Like everybody in the crowd was probably drunk. Everybody in the whole situation was drunk. And I'm not saying liquor was the cause of it, but liquor dulls your sensibilities. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
and so you're more like, oh, whatever, no, no, no. It makes you like whatever about everything.
Right.
So like I feel like anyone that was supposed to the person who set it up, the person who was supposed to be in charge of stopping it should have been stopped. Anybody who had the power to stop it when it should have been stopped and didn't do it, I think what's happening is there's an investigation to find out who those people are and hold them accountable. to whatever degree they're
Mhm.
supposed to be held accountable at. Because at the end of the day, niggas fight in the hood all the time. You know what I mean? And even in the hood, niggas would stand there and be like, "Y'all got 30 seconds." And if the dude fall down and he act like he want to start hitting his head against the ground, they're like, "No, no, no, bro, let him get up." You know what I mean? Like, 'cause even we know that, and we shoot
Right.
each other with semi-automatic rifles, and we let a nigga catch a fair one. So that's how I'm looking at it. That's my perspective. You see what I'm saying? A drunk, high or not. So I mean, those
Right.
kids. I think those kids wanted to see blood, and they got it.
Right. Well, what I meant as far as that preach was because normally when people participate in activities of that nature, they don't normally participate in drinking or using any type of alcohol because of the fact that alcohol thins your blood and your tendency to bleed is higher if you have a lot of liquor in your system. So that's the reason why I asked, because once you get a concussion, that's bleeding on the brain.
Oh, you're talking
And
about the boxer.
yes,
I
the
don't think
fight
the
that
boxers
you
were
had.
drunk. I don't think the
Oh,
boxers were drunk. I
okay,
think
that was
everyone
We
else
don't know though.
was drunk.
We don't know
We
that
don't
for
know.
sure. We
It's
don't.
a
We don't
possibility.
know.
No,
It's a high.
yeah, that
I'm not
was
a high
my
school.
question. Were they intoxicated? Because that's what I
I
was
don't know.
saying about drinking and the head injury and them not getting attention quick enough. Well, if he had alcohol in his system, that also contribute to his demise.
Exactly. Right.
And you
So
know
And I
what,
agree.
Ja?
I
yes,
agree.
Ja, while you're saying that, he died 4 days after the event. So he had a concussion and it says he died 4 days after. So he probably was bleeding that whole time if, you
yes.
know.
And if
Yeah.
he had alcohol in his system at that time, then his blood was thinning and he was just hemorrhaging the whole time because alcohol
Wow.
doesn't get out your system that quickly as people think. You have to dilute it by drinking plenty of water and
Right.
dilute it by getting it out of your system. You know, I see you over there, preach. Okay. Clap, 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 clap. You know, but yeah, so that's what
Never
I
know
was
when you got to
wondering.
fight in
So that's what I was just curious about. But when are we going to talk about Angelica?
Okay, there's not a lot really to say about her. I'm going to
Oh,
bring her up right now. I
okay.
mean, I'm going to show his visual real quick cuz I do see you guys want to talk about it. Honestly, there's not really anything to say. Um I'll probably have a conversation with her tomorrow, but I'll just hold on. Let me just show this so I could do this and then go to her. This is his visual.
Okay, while you're pulling that up, my condolences to his family.
Oh, yes. All of us from the family
From the family.
over here, we send our, prayers and condolences. I feel sad that he felt that he had to. He had to do this for a charity. I wonder why they were called the main event. But if you type this in and look at the two people that are fighting, he's the smaller one. And like if you compare it, it's a little bit like what's really going on to why they needed to be the main event.
So was it kind of like, I didn't see the height. So was it like Kevin Hart and Shaq?
Not that big, but
Okay,
I
okay.
think I'm gonna show it after I share this one.
Okay.
No, not that big of a difference, but there's a difference, and it kind of looked like he was wailing on him. Did I press share? All right, it's really, really low. I don't know why. Let me see. It's not long or anything. Can you guys even hear it? It's really low on my end too.
It is very low. I think that's just
Yeah,
the video.
Yeah.
play. If everyone can mute.
Can't hear it.
It's really low, huh?
Like super low, like to the point where I can't hear it.
Guess you could read the captions. That's sad. He missed his 21st birthday. So that's just a little small clip. Let me see if I can find that picture really quickly. Images. Where's it at? Right here. Where is it at?
Well, the reason why I said it like that was because, there's normally a height and weight comparison when you're doing boxing or, you doing WFC. There's always a comparison within the fight, and it has to be like 3 to 5 pounds or, 1 to 2 inches in height and, arm distance and things of that nature. So I was just curious.
I think they even said something about that too. I'm trying to find the picture I found where he was like right up on him. You can't really see it in this one, but this dude is way like taller than it. Maybe this one. Can you kind of see? I mean, how do I make this big? I can't. What does this mean?
See anything yet?
Oh, I didn't pull it up.
Oh.
Oh, I'm like looking at it. And I'm thinking y'all looking with me. Hold on, share. Were you guys watching the visual thing? Could you guys see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
shrine that they have with the candles. Or
Yeah,
vigil.
okay, just
I'm sorry.
yeah, the
vigil.
visual. Okay, here we go. Share.
I had to
Okay,
step
can you
away
guys
from it, so I missed
see?
some of it.
Boom. Okay, so you see on the side right here, this is the guy and this is him. So they
Is he
said
in the
like
red? Is he in the red helmet?
he got the red helmet, yeah. I'm
Well, he looks
thinking,
like he's
they
in the
weren't
corner.
really they weren't really paying attention, and I feel like that sucks. But okay, Angelica. So no, her court date was today. I'm trying to see, but I'm gonna call down there because I don't know if I'm gonna get the correct information. But I'm gonna call her tomorrow or text her. You know what I mean?
And for those who
But
aren't aware of what you're talking about, like me, who's
okay, I'm
Angelica?
talking about Angelica Mendez. She's the one. What do they talk about? Costco girl.
Ah, Costco girl.
Yeah.
You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I know who that
You
is.
remember?
Yep.
Okay, so I will pull up her image for those that don't know. A little while back, this young lady, Angelica Mendez, was in a Costco in California, and she's seen here. Let me pull up this picture. She's seen a young lady. They call her Molly, and she immediately thought that since she was with a white family, she was the only black child, African American child, that she was being abused. She thought this because the little girl was sitting at a table, and I'm gonna bring that up here. I'm trying to bring one up that's not a video. So yeah, so she started recording them on Snapchat, and went to social media, posting this little girl everywhere on social media. She started going on multiple platforms, telling the cops that she would not stop until this little girl got justice. And she, was pretty much doxing this family with other content creators, telling them that, they falsely arrested her, but she didn't get arrested until after the fact, after she had made all these accusations and they told her to stop. A YouTuber she didn't care for at the time, she said was harassing her, so she was doing a cease and desist. So the police tricked her, had her go to a Vons, met up with her at the Vons, and put her under arrest for false um, false identity. Like she didn't give her correct information. She says she did. She went to the car and she got no. I'm sorry. She pulled it up in her phone, and I'm gonna just bring this little picture up real quick. Just to all this right here is Angelica Mendez. This is the Costco situation. The young lady. Okay, so she shows them a picture of her ID. in her phone. She says she had a previous ticket for some type of traffic ticket, and she had a warrant out. Why didn't they take her then when they seen it then? But anyway, it catches all up to her. She goes to jail. Yeah, so all she said was, and that's why I said I'll wait till tomorrow. I know last I spoke to her, she was supposed to be pregnant. So I tell her good luck and everything. She's like, thank you very much. And then she sends me a picture. I'm gonna put that on my community board. She sends me a picture of like a folder. I don't know if you guys can see it all the way right here. So I'm gonna just put it on
Okay.
my community board so you guys can see. And so I'm like, what's that? She says, sorry, meant to send that to my fiance, but I'm still here. And I'm looking like,
girl, come
I'm looking like,
Really?
you did not try and send that to your fiance. You meant to send that to me so that I can see. Okay.
She's too calculated for that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
girl, bye. So after I asked that, she says that she starts whatever. And then she says, I have all my evidence organized. My case should be dismissed. I said, oh, did you go in yet? Because this was some time after. She's like, I've been in here. They just haven't called my case. The room was packed with other cases. I said, and plus COVID. So I didn't get back with her, but I will get with her and see what she says, because I'm also going to be contacting the court to see how I can get the minutes of what happened, because I don't believe she's going to tell me the truth. And she's claiming that it was supposed to be the traffic ticket and the, what would that be, criminal, that she gave the wrong information and, making false accusations against the family and everything. So I don't think they would put those two together. She said they did. So I will be trying to see if I can pull that, because I mean, it should all be private, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all with that. Nothing major on that. That's why I'm like, But yeah, Ja. So that's that. Do you know what else I would need to do? Would they just give it to me if I call and pay for it? Or would it be something I would have to drive up there and do?
I believe you have to go to the courthouse and get a copy of it.
Okay. But
Yeah,
I'm allowed to get it as, member of
right,
the public, correct?
right, yes.
So that's what I mean. I'm gonna ask her if she will get it, and I mean, if it's true, she should be able to clear her name like she's been wanting to do the whole time. So if she can get it and send it to me, that will be great. Or I'm gonna just have to find another way to do it, because the only reason I could think she wouldn't give it to me is if it didn't work out in her favor.
Right.
Exactly. And I was thinking the same thing, that we would be seeing her blasting, jumping up here right now, and
Exactly.
everything if it went in her favor.
Because she hasn't answered her phone.
Okay.
I hit her up a little bit before I got on. It was probably like 4-ish something, preach, when I had left.
Yeah.
Around that time. So we'll see, because she didn't send that to her fiance. He would have known she left with that folder.
Look,
Right.
What's the folder? Like, what is the significance of the folder?
The
What is
folder
the significance
says,
of the folder?
let me see. I'm gonna post it on my community board, but I'm also gonna post it on here. Wait. What? 420, you're here twice?
He has a twin.
Oh, damn.
I was like, wait, is somebody playing with me?
He got so
All right.
high he created an alter ego.
So
He's
here's
got
the picture.
many alter egos with his
I'm
name.
gonna make me big. Let me make you big.
Let me change my name.
You know how Beyonce
Shrimp
got Sasha Fierce?
Barbie.
420 has shrimp on the Barbie.
Turn right. Did you see it?
What is that?
That's what she sent me.
It says
So
lemon pepper
it
recipe.
says, I want to say late phone calls, but I don't know what that would mean. And the other one says no report taken. So my thing would be, why would you send this to your fiance? You guys live together.
2.5 miles.
Yeah, well, you
Turn
would.
left onto Turner Wardnell Road.
Why would you?
What?
And
What is
then
that
she
supposed to
says,
mean?
I don't know. Because when after I say, good luck, she says, thank you very much. And then she sends that picture right after. So, you're in the conversation with me. How did you accidentally send this to your fiance? Because she says, sorry, I meant to send that to my fiance, but I'm still here. No, you meant to send it to me to show me that you were there with your little papers and stuff like that, and that your case should be dropped. Why would your fiance need a picture of that? I'm sure he took you. You seen him this morning. He knows you've been trying to get your stuff together. Girl, quit playing with me. Which one do you want to keep up here? 420.
It don't matter. You could take the
one that's
shit.
muted.
The one
Shrimp
that's
on the
muted.
Barbie? Okay, this one.
Nah, the one that's muted.
All right.
Yeah, he's been gone from that one.
So, yeah, Miss News. Yes. I believe so. She didn't send that to me on an accident. That's just that. I'll see if she answers her phone. Because if she went to jail, she won't be answering her phone. Or
Not at
if
all.
she just knows it didn't go in her favor at all, I'm sure she's going to try to. Because if it went in her favor, this whole time that she's been trying to prove to me that she was not lying, I'm sure she would have called me or sent me something.
Or
So
just
that's
be on every platform on YouTube. Bragging.
yeah. Allegedly, you're still pregnant. Yeah, I'm gonna ask her how's the baby and
Yeah.
things like that. I mean, I do not have anything against this girl at all. The only
Right.
thing
I hope
I
her
have a
baby's doing
problem with.
great.
What'd you say?
I said I hope her baby's doing really well.
Me too. I would never wish anything bad on a child. And who's echoing?
Me.
Someone has an echo.
420.
Is it 420? How would he have
I
an
don't
echo?
know. It
He's
just
muted.
sounds like somebody's driving, maybe. Wait, did it go away?
Yeah, it went away. I don't know who it was. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if she is, I hope the baby's okay. I believe she said it was a boy last time we spoke with her. I will even send her a baby shower gift. I don't have any problems with her. All I asked was her to be honest and stop putting this little girl's information out there. She's young. She doesn't deserve any of that. If she's going through a bad situation, I hope that she gets help. I still don't know if I believe that they really looked into this.
Right.
Not saying that what Angelica, everything she said is true, but I don't know how much I believe the police actually did what they said they did completely, because I know in California what goes on, and it's pretty much out in the open. Like, they don't really hide their tracks too much, and it's just nothing you can say or do about it. You kind of just have to, I don't know, go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't
We
know
can
what we would be able to do.
speculate all we want, but we don't know the actual truth. You know, you never
Exactly.
know. You just never know.
Yeah. So off of Angelica, I'll let you guys know, what comes next to that. I'll be in contact with her mañana. The next thing I wanted to move on to is the school shooting. Did you guys hear about the school shooting
No, where? Oh my goodness.
in Michigan?
And
Michigan. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up right now so you guys can see.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You are totally fine. I'm trying to see which one I want to bring up. This is Oxford High School. I'm trying to find the video. Oh, preach. Preachy? Preach. Where are you? Are you on silent? Are you on mute? Let me see.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
on
right
mute.
here. What's up?
Oh,
I can
can
hear
you
you.
send me that TikTok
I'm right
or
here.
either share your screen and I pull it up?
Well, if we flip
Do you
it, it
still
might.
have it over there?
No, I can pull it up. It's not an issue. Oh wait, did I like it? I can still find it. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna play the. Go ahead and look for it. I'm gonna play this next. So check this out, y'all. Watch them give me a commercial. I know it.
Of course. Yeah, you have a
I
lot
know.
of things going on in your background, so I'm like, dang, she's got a lot of topics.
Me? Hold on. You said I have a lot of stuff in my background?
No, I was just saying, like, on your thumbnail or
Obviously,
whatever.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
here
yeah, yeah.
for
All right, I got.
the
Wait,
worst
I
case.
got something better than that. Got
Okay,
something
okay.
better
You're
than
gonna
that.
play that one.
Sorry.
Nope.
You
I'm
have
gonna,
it?
I'm gonna put the link in the private chat. This one is gonna be way better.
Okay. Then
Um,
the one we were looking at.
oh, you want me to share my screen? It's not a problem.
Whichever one you want to do. You can share a screen. That'll
All
be
right.
faster and easier.
All right, cool. All right. So apparently this is what he looks like.
Oh, wait. If you're gonna play this part, wait. Let me play the other part first. I thought you were gonna play
Oh,
the video. Hold that. Hold that.
maybe I assumed that other.
Yeah, hold that
I
real
could just,
quick.
yeah.
Just leave that
I
there. Yeah.
assumed other people saw
Nah,
the other
some people
parts.
said they didn't
Yeah.
hear about it yet. So let me play
All right.
this
All right.
first.
Kind of tragedy we've seen across the country, and we hoped and prayed it would never come to Oakland County, but it has. It's visited itself on our community, and certainly the first thoughts are prayers for the families and loved ones and friends that have been impacted by this unspeakable and unforgivable event. I'd like to speak in general about school safety. You know, the one upside is that our community, Oakland County specifically, has prepared, I think, as well as any community in the nation. So the first point I'd like to make is sharing information. If you hear or see something, you've got to say something, whether it's okay to say or whether it's calling us directly or anonymously through a variety of methodologies. We need to know what you see and hear in case there's some credible information there. Just in this past week, we've intervened in 3 different events. They were deemed not to be credible, but we check every one of those out. And so it's critically important people understand that's not a burden to us. It's something we want you to do. Call us if there's anybody talking about things, posting about things, writing, anything. You need to let authorities know so there can be intervention. The first line of prevention is open communication. We're also hearing that there were rumors that somebody had heard or said something or knew something in advance. None of that came to us prior to today. So if we find out there was information, that's exactly the kind of thing we need to get looped into. In fact, we have a specific phone number set up. If you have information about this case, whether it's previous information you're aware of or anything that's important or relevant, please let us know at 248-858-4911. Or you can email us at OCSO, that stands for Oakland County Sheriff's Office, at oakgov.com. And as I said, we also accept confidential or anonymous tips on anything related to schools. Secondly, I think it's important to note as we face these things across the country and now here in Oakland, training. We train regularly for active shooter scenarios, and we have for years. In fact, we created a group called OakTAC many years ago after the active shooter in Mumbai, and all of the police agencies in Oakland County have trained together for just this scenario. And we looped in and have fire departments now that train with us and are partners in that same activity. And all of that was very evident today. So we've seen agencies train in our Brandon Township temporary training facility. And with a new training facility on the horizon, we intend to do even more intensive training and train with every agency in Oakland County going forward as we have in the past, but with more scenarios and more real world pressures, if you will. Third, after other school shootings around the country, you saw in some scenarios where the officers or deputies didn't go in. They staged or they waited outside. After some of those scenarios were observed, I made it very clear to our staff, if they get there first, their job is to go in and neutralize the threat. If I get there first, I'm going in. If we get there together, we're both going in. There will be no staging. And I'm proud to say that's exactly what happened today. They went in and searched out the threat. They went to the gunshots. Train, train, train is our mantra. And that also includes students, schools, and staff. Oxford has been one of those districts that's been proactive and has been training. We have literally trained hundreds of schools, businesses, as well as houses of worship. It's sad, but it's necessary. If you remember many, many years ago, we used to have students climb under the desk because of the potential threat of a nuclear attack. Well, there's a very different threat, and we have to train to it and be prepared to it. And this kind of thing can happen anywhere. And sadly, it happened even in a sweet, quiet community like Oxford. It can visit itself anywhere in America. No one is immune. But that training can, does, and did, I believe, in this situation, save lives. So specifically to this case, on November 30th, our dispatch center received in excess of 100 phone calls in a very short period of time. Their professionalism in responding to that, handling calls, and getting relevant information to get out to our deputies was a testimony to their excellence and professionalism. The high school has approximately 1,800 students, and cars were dispatched at 12:52 and arrived minutes later. Within 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes of their arrival, they had a suspect in custody. The first deputies on scene were joined by about 100 other deputies from the sheriff's office, and shortly thereafter, almost another 200 from area agencies, including numerous fire departments. I'll give you a very detailed list of who showed up so you can understand the partnership and the training that has gone into being prepared for a situation like today. The deputies removed from the suspect a 9mm Sig Sauer SP 2022 pistol. It was loaded at the time and still contained 7 rounds of ammunition. When they took it from him, he had a loaded firearm. That, again, I believe, interrupted what potentially could have been 7 more victims. Arriving deputies and officers from other jurisdictions searched the school and evacuated injured students and staff, along with others that were uninjured but clearly panicked. Responding deputies reverted to their active shooter training that we talked about already, deploying throughout the building and searching for additional assailants, because obviously at that point we didn't know if it was one or multiple assailants, while rescuing victims with the assistance of our partner fire service agencies. Internal and external command posts were established. Secondary searches were conducted along with securing the inside and outside perimeters. The FBI and MSP bomb squad responded to assist, and they checked a package that my K9 unit, our explosive unit, had alerted to. More than likely, the suspect had his weapons in that bag. There was nothing else in that bag that was dangerous. Our Office of Special Investigations and our forensic lab is currently processing the scene, which is expected to take many, many hours and go all night long. I'm extremely proud of the deputies, our partners, the fire departments and EMS for their intervening actions. As I mentioned, I believe they literally saved lives, having taken down the suspect with a loaded firearm still in the building. I also want to underscore the impact on our team and any team that faces something like this, and how proud I am of them and anyone else in these situations. One of our deputies, because of the severity of wounds, loaded up one of the children in his car, and sadly that child died in the car. One of our employees who was in the 911 center as part of the team taking the emergency calls had a relative killed in the attack. And so this touches us all personally and deeply, and will for a long time. This wound will never go away, and we understand that. but we also want the community to know that we're here for them, and we will leave no stone unturned in determining all the things that led up to it and making sure that this investigation is full and complete before it's turned over to hold this individual accountable. As of right now, we have tragically lost 3 students, a 16-year-old male. The names, you'll have the names of the deceased. Families have been notified. He died in the patrol car on the way to the hospital. 14-year-old female and a 17-year-old female. Another 8 people were injured, 7 students and 1 teacher. Victim number 4 is a 15-year-old male. He's in critical condition with a gunshot wound to the head. Victim number 5 is a 14-year-old male with serious condition, jaw and head gunshot wounds. Number 6 is a 17-year-old female. She's stable with a neck gunshot wound. A 15-year-old male, stable with a gunshot wound to the leg, the left leg. A 17-year-old male, stable condition with a hip gunshot wound. A 47-year-old teacher who has been thankfully discharged. She had a left shoulder gunshot wound that appears to have been a grazing wound. Tragically, we have a 14-year-old female who is in critical condition with chest and neck gunshot wounds, and she's currently on a ventilator after surgery. So it's looking very tough for this young girl. Our 11th victim, is a 17-year-old female. She's in critical condition with a chest gunshot wound as well. There were multiple non-threatening life injuries from students as they were rushing out of the building, obviously evacuating. They got hurt. Most of them were treated and released at a predetermined staging area. And our thanks to Meyer for assisting with that and being involved in reuniting students with their parents. On-scene counseling with our chaplains was made available to the staff, students, and certainly the families. And I have assigned a deputy to each of the victims' families to be with them as long as necessary so that they ensure they get the information they need, the comfort they need, and the protection they deserve. As I mentioned, we have the suspect in custody. He's a 15-year-old male sophomore, a resident of Oxford Village. He was not injured, and he's currently lodged at Children's Village on campus here on homicide and attempt homicide with the approval of the on-duty probate court referee. We cannot identify him at this point because he's a juvenile and he has not been charged as an adult, so there's no ability to identify him at this point. With his parents present, he declined to speak, and they have hired an attorney, so there is no conversation that's going on and no cooperation at that level. Preliminary investigation revealed that the weapon used in this shooting was purchased on November 26th, 4 days ago, by the boy's father. The gun had 15-round magazines. We found 2 of them. There allegedly was 3 that was purchased, and he had the crime scene unit. Our forensic lab is on scene, obviously processing a huge crime scene. More than likely that 3rd magazine will be found there. At least 12 rounds, we know. That's a preliminary number based on casings observed on the ground and part of the active scene that they're now processing. So there's a lot of stuff that we've seen on social media and different chatter and different rumors. I would just caution people to not spread stuff unless it comes from us, because some of the stuff we've seen has absolutely no connection or relevance to this case. And it's hurtful to the community and the families that see some of that. So let's try to be respectful of that, and we'll release as much information as we can, as soon as we can, that won't jeopardize any potential prosecution. I'm joined by a specialist that was from McLaren, Oakland, She can answer. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Okay, guys. So this is 41 minutes. I will put in the description box below the entire thing. I'm sure you guys are not gonna want to sit here and watch the whole 41 minutes. But yeah, so do you guys want to continue from here, or do you just want to catch it in the description box?
There's a court hearing. If you'd like to move
We're
on
we're
to the
gonna.
court
I
hearing.
want to watch what you pulled up too. So, guys, chat. I love you guys. So we're gonna put. I'm gonna just put it in the description box so you can watch the whole thing in its entirety. Cool. All right.
Okay.
So let me.
Sounds good
Give me
to
a
me.
second. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull yours up. Are you ready? Okay.
For a judge arraigned now as an adult on multiple. Tonight, the suspect, also a student, a 15-year-old, appearing before a judge, arraigned now as an adult on multiple counts, including 1 count of terrorism and 4 counts of first-degree murder. We have also now learned tonight the student and his parents were at the school that morning, just hours before all of this played out. ABC's Trevor Ault in Oxford tonight.
You are the parents of Ethan Plumley, is that correct? Yeah, correct.
That is correct. Tonight, the Michigan 15-year-old accused of committing the deadliest school shooting this year arraigned as an adult on charges including first-degree murder and terrorism.
I am absolutely sure after reviewing the evidence that it isn't even a close call. It was absolutely premeditated.
Today, the sheriff revealing hours before the shooting, school officials met with the suspect and his parents about what the school thought was concerning behavior, but not a potential shooting.
Even the people that had the meetings wasn't on their radar.
I don't believe so. Authorities say the 15-year-old used a Sig Sauer 9mm his father bought just days before on Black Friday. It's unclear if he had permission to use it. He walked out of the bathroom and opened fire. This terrifying video showing a teacher and students who have trained for this inside their barricaded classroom. Escaping through a window after a knock on the door. And overnight, as authorities swarmed the suspect's home, recovering a notebook and some of his writings, a candlelight vigil for the victims. Authorities now confirming a 4th student has died of his injuries.
Justin Schilling, co-captain of the Oxford bowling team and a golfer.
16-year-old Tate Meir died in the squad car on the way to the hospital. His football team tweeting, Tate was a great young man with a bright future and beloved by all, and also killed 14-year-old Hannah St. Juliana.
Her father asked me to tell you that she was one of the happiest and most joyful kids.
And 17-year-old Madison Baldwin, whose family says she had just been accepted to several colleges.
She was just the light of so many people, and this is unimaginable. This is unmanageable.
And David, a law enforcement official tells ABC investigators are now pursuing information that the night before the shooting, some students watched a video on Snapchat warning of a shooting the next day. And some of those students stayed home from school, but no calls or tips were placed with police. David.
All right, Trevor Ault from Michigan tonight. Trevor, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts.
You're muted.
I'm always doing that. So that happened. I wanted you guys to hear about it. And I put the link to this in the chat. So that way you guys can go and see the full press conference of it. But y'all, what's going on today? And I've been seeing a lot of like little memes and things that say only school shootings happen in the US. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, is that true?
No, I think there was one in another country. I'm not sure
Right.
exactly
And
what
then
country, but I seen it somewhere.
I'm wondering how and why this gun was purchased on Black Friday to now become the weapon that's used in such a horrible way. Was he asking the parents for a gun and then they got it and didn't know he was going to do that? What was his behavior before? I mean, there's just so many questions. And it's sad. You hear them say, the little girl, you know, or the child that died in the car on the way there. It just seemed like, and there's another one. Preach, do you have the TikTok? Do you have the TikTok? Because I want you guys to see this TikTok and see how on point these children were when the gunman was in there trying to get them to open the door. I was like, wait, what? Like they actually used their brain in this situation when you would think that, you know, they wouldn't. And they may have frozen up, you know? So I want you guys to have a look at that as well. And if you guys want to watch the whole thing together, we can. But there's just one other thing I wanted to talk about because the little boy in the situation with the skeletal remains where the kids were living there by themselves, basically, with the deceased brother in the house. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
In Houston, once again, Gloria Williams and her spouse. Hold on, let me bring this up. I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, she's with the that's the boyfriend on the right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Can you make it
so
larger or no?
give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is much as it's gonna go. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna try to make this louder. Give me 1
Okay.
second.
Listen to how on point they were. Because remember, they're trying to get out.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come on.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you.
Oh, wait, start it over because they didn't hear from the beginning. Hold on, let me say something before you start it again. Pause. Okay, so right now in this situation, they're locked in this classroom. They're all on the floor. The police is there trying to help them get out before anybody else gets hurt. But listen in the background to the person yelling at them through the door. Go ahead.
Sheriff's office. Safe to come out.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come on.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door with my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Slow down, you're fine.
I want you to drop backpacks. You're okay.
Check that out. How on point they were. They were not sure of who was on the other side of the door. They're like, no, we're not trying to, believe that right now. So while he's talking, he says, bro. That clicked to them like, what sheriff is gonna say, bro, like that?
Right.
They're like,
Exactly.
and they book out the other gate and they run into the actual cops. So they were really, really lucky, right?
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah,
that, John?
that was really smart.
Really smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what?
And they were using their listening skills.
Right. Exactly. He said open the door so I can show you my badge, bro. They were like, bro.
Then they're
And they
like, he
got the
said,
fuck
bro.
out
He
of
said,
there.
bro. No. Boom. And they go out the door. I was like, wow. They were in tune with what was going on.
Yeah.
Didn't really panic. And, go ahead,
No, I'm
Miranda.
sorry. I cut you off.
Oh no,
But,
no. I was just saying they were really on point.
well, I was gonna say that it's kind of sad that like you know, they're being trained to be prepared for things like this to happen because it's so
Right.
prevalent now.
Yeah, it is. It makes it scary for
So
you
they're
to
always aware, you know, like I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm so like, okay, your parents just get this gun on Black Friday and you use it on Wednesday. And they're like, we know for a fact it was premeditated. So I want to know a little bit more of what they know because
Right.
right. I want to know what the
That's
go ahead,
odd.
John.
I was just like, did I just hear you correctly? That they bought it on, let's say, a Monday and used it on a Wednesday?
They brought it Black
Yeah,
Friday.
he said it was 2 days before. Yeah.
Crazy, right?
He premeditated that.
Definitely.
Of course. That's why they're saying there's no doubt.
Wow. And how old was he?
What they say?
Said he
Did
was
they
a
say it was
sophomore.
a sophomore? Okay, it was a sophomore.
Wow.
Yep.
15.
Wait.
16?
16, 15.
Wow.
You're like around what, 17 when you graduate and a sophomore?
Some are 17, some are 18.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Oh
it
my
depends on if you
goodness.
get like held back and stuff.
That's crazy.
Either 15 or 16.
That's real sad.
No, but he was 15. He was 15.
Oh my goodness, it's just insane.
It's just that really made me like not smile, but I was kind of like excited for them, you know, how they thought to do
Yeah,
that
how
so
they
quickly.
yeah, definitely.
I just wonder because they were starting to talk about his behavior and how he was behaving and possibly why. Because they said he was having like talks with the school, right? So I don't know. I feel like the parents should have been more vigilant. And I feel like nowadays a lot of parents don't do that. And like I'm trying to be that parent with my son. You know, I want to listen to him and make sure whatever's happening gets resolved. And I'm telling you, as a single parent, it's like hard. And a first time parent, it's really hard to, you know, make decisions that you think are right and is the best decision for your child. So I don't think there should have been a gun in the house. And why? I'm still asking, why was it purchased and then used? Had he been asking for this gun, you know, for a long time and was like, Black Friday, can I please get it? Like, how did this all go down?
But
So you said
at
that
that age, that's
you said
insane.
that you don't think there should have been a gun in the house.
Not like that. I'm saying I don't think one should have been easily accessible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
because
what I mean by that.
they got safes where literally you can. I mean, it looks like a like an alarm clock or like a little radio, and you put your finger on it, and it only goes off of your finger, and you can whip your gun out fast. You know what I'm saying? So these parents need to be more proactive at purchasing these weapons and actually securing them and putting them up so their kids can't get to them even if they knew where they were.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But can't people purchase them like illegally? I'm just saying.
That's something else. That's different though. If your kid decide to go out into the world and purchase an illegal gun, and as a parent, I mean, the only thing you can do is pray that everything that you taught them about, you know, wrong and right, that they listen to it. But behind closed doors, behind your back, they go out and buy a gun, and you have no idea. I mean, as a parent, that's not your responsibility because you didn't know. Now, if your son or daughter get your gun off your shelf and go shoot somebody up at school, then yeah, you're responsible, because why would you leave it right there for him or her to grab it? You know what I'm saying? But them getting it on their own, I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of out of the parents' hand if they don't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that boils down, like Screech said, I don't know if you read her comment, Naomi. She said that it's like a USA thing, because like over there they don't have that, because guns are not easily.
Oh yeah, we have not had one
Good night,
here
y'all, Star.
that I can. Night, Jaw.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Have a blessed evening and
too.
be safe. God bless. Peace.
You too. Bye,
Thank
Jaw.
you. Peace.
Screech says we have not had one year that I can remember ever. It really is a U.S. thing. Our gun laws are a lot tighter. Kids don't have access like you guys do. Mm. Mm. So with him being to me, the parents in this situation is at fault 125%, because they knew they just purchased this gun. It should have been somewhere locked up, tucked away. Even if it was a gun from a long time ago. But at least maybe, the parents forget, they may gave the kid the code to the safe one day to get something out, didn't know the kid remembered it, then that's different. But they just bought the gun. Now look how many people we have injured and that has passed on. I see senseless, right? And I just wonder what makes kids go into schools and do mass shootings. Say they're upset with one particular teacher or a certain student or a group of students. Why do they just go around and just shoot up however many people they can? And I'm not saying it's better to target who you're going to target, but I'm saying if you have, this problem with this particular child or group of
Like a
people or whatever,
vendetta.
why not just go after them? Again, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm just like, why just go do it to everyone?
Yeah.
And he was adamant trying to get into that door. This is a sheriff's. This is a sheriff's. So imagine if they didn't think about this. There was no chance for them to do a lockdown on the class. And he just walked in. I don't know. I really don't know.
Unfortunate. I mean, it's a lot of kids have lost their lives. Even one person is too many.
Right.
Should be no child that is like afraid to go to school, afraid they'll get, and then we have to worry about that as parents, as our children get older and get into, middle school, high school, stuff like that. That's what I worry about.
Right. And then you see how, our kids, like with the video games. That's why I
talk about that all day.
Kind of stopped people like at his birthdays and Christmas. Don't buy my son anything that have to do with the gun at all. Don't buy him no type of gun, because I'm not gonna let him use it.
What about the Nerf guns? You don't let him have the Nerf?
No, he's been asking for one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get him it. Because he had something similar to it that I ended up taking from him, because he just kept shooting me with it.
Yeah, and that thing hurts. They hurt.
And I was like, stop. You're not even supposed to have these. Because he had like a little target. You're supposed to shoot the little target, like darts type thing. And I don't know. I just, in the games that I see, they're too graphic.
They're bad. Don't ever let him I didn't want my son to have any type of gaming system, and it just fell into his lap. Like, it was given to him. So, and I was saying, no. I didn't want him to have. So we got him the Nintendo because he begged for something. I thought that was appropriate, for a small kid like the Nintendo, because I didn't know what type of games would be on it, but I seen like Mario Kart, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good
for children.
A young child to have a game. Yeah, because once they get on it,
It's
hard
a wrap.
control it. Yeah.
I am over here trying to find this last case that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I might have to bring it up tomorrow. My son just took my phone. There's a specific article that I wanted to read together with you guys, because one of the children speaks up about what they were going through while living there with their brother dead in the next room.
Oh, shit.
Really?
You remember her? Wait, let me bring her up on my screen so you guys can have your memory refreshed real quick. Let me bring her up.
Oh, goodness.
He was saying, you know, how the mom would come and just drop off food, and you know how they would get in trouble, how the what is it, the stepdad, not stepdad because they're not married, I don't think, but the boyfriend would beat on them. They allowed that. The mom allowed that, I should say.
Yeah.
So I had it in here too.
So none of the kids were with him, right?
Or with who?
The boyfriend. The boyfriend.
Well, I think the reason why they ended up moving out together was because, remember the little boy, the other brother that had the broken jaw?
Yeah.
And the one that, you know, that passed, he was on the spectrum. He was nonverbal. He could not speak. He used to just beat them, and, you know, I think that's why they moved, because the guy could not stand the kids. And so I think that's why they ended up separating. And
all over a man that she met didn't like her too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to bring that to you guys on another note, because I want to find the exact part where the little boy, they were speaking of him. But I'm gonna just pop a picture up. There we go. For you guys know, here we go. Share. Pop it up right here. It is gonna be this one. Share. So this right here, you guys see, is the mother we're talking about. The mother in question. So what they have right now is, you guys already know, that's how much her bond is 1.5 million. Judge raises total of bond of Houston mom to that amount. That is a lot, and I think it's well deserved. Rarely do you see these big bonds when it's needed. You know, in this case, yeah, to me, it's very needed, but there's some other cases that should have been like this, and people have been let out. So let me see. I was going to try to put a little, I'm sick of these commercials, a little part of this, and we can continue this probably tomorrow. And
prosecutors also revealed how this mother was apparently paying for her apartments and her furniture, apparently with disability funds from the government meant for her children who have learning disabilities. They say instead of using that on her kids, she used it on herself. Wearing an orange jail uniform and remaining mostly silent, Gloria Williams appeared in front of Judge Kelly Johnson this morning. During the brief 15-minute hearing, Judge Johnson said she was raising Williams' bond to a total of more than $1.5 million.
I am satisfied. We can't seek no bond in this case per the Texas Constitution, and I believe that the judge did take into consideration all of the factors and took a special focus on community safety because this is such an egregious case.
Prosecutor Andrea Bell also revealed in court that Williams apparently lived off of government assistance meant to provide for 3 of her children, including Kendrick Lee,
So
who was
handsome.
apparently already dead when his mom received some
Nonverbal.
of those benefits.
But she was receiving about $2,000 worth of government assistance on behalf of her children.
Bell says Williams and her boyfriend Brian Coulter's apartment was furnished and they had food, while the children lived in filth with nothing. Williams' newly appointed court attorney says he is still unraveling the case.
I need to find out more information about her mindset. Really. She communicates with me. She talks to me. I'm a stranger to her. She's only known me for a few days.
Outside the courthouse, the family of Williams' former husband, Daryl Towner, decided to speak out. They said Towner, who was not the father of any of these kids, took care of them until he died in 2019 after suffering several strokes.
The person that he was, and he didn't have any biological children with her, but he loved those children as though they were his own. They were very well taken care of.
They are devastated by what's happened since his death.
We're praying for them. Our heart is just broken. There's no words.
Yeah, in fact, Williams was married to Towner from 2017 to 2019 when he died. And family members say they lost track of Williams and the kids after their brother's death. And they are shocked by what's been taking place. They've seen on the news. We expect more developments in the coming days. And not only Williams, but her boyfriend also heads back to court. Live downtown, Maya Shea, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
So yeah, we'll look more into that when I can grab my phone and get, all the information on, not all the information, but just what the little boy says they were going through. So yeah, you guys, any comments, questions? Nope. All right, you guys. So I'm going to head out. Like I said, I've been trying to make these shorter because we can get on some topics and we will just go and go and go.
On a
So,
tangent. That's why I tried
yep. So you guys, if you haven't done it already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and your notifications, even though they say, they don't get notifications. If you have already been subscribed and you're not getting the notifications, unsubscribe, make sure you resubscribe, and then hit that notification bell. And share. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night.